Good morning. Welcome to FGSL Woodworks, my shop, although I'm not actually in my shop this morning. Where I'm working at right now is just downstairs. What I have here is an antique Czechoslovakian dining table, and I'm doing refinishing of it. The reason that I'm doing this video today is to explain what you really should not be doing. Okay, I know there's a lot of you out there who really want to save yourself some money and save yourself some time and to try and refinish a piece of furniture that you have yourself. The biggest thing you need to remember is that you need to commit to doing it if you're going to do it. Take a look at your furniture, see if there's any parts of it that is going to be difficult to do. Contours that are going to be hard to get to sand, to strip, to do whatever. One of the biggest, it is an issue and it is kind of a pet peeve, but at the same time, if you know it beforehand, don't start a project unless you're going to finish the project. One of the biggest things that I have going on right now is people contacting me, wanting me to refinish a piece of furniture when they've already started it. They've already started sanding it. And that's one thing that I say not to do right off the bat. You never just start sanding into a piece of furniture. You always want to either strip it first or find a way to remove whatever finishes on it so that you can do any repairs that you need to do. That being said, if you do get into it, if you start into it, again, you want to go until you're finished with it. That way you're not contacting someone like myself to finish something because it became a little bit harder than you first expected it to be. This piece of furniture is not one of those situations, but I am going to give you a little bit of what you want to do when you're refinishing a piece of furniture, how to get rid of the finish. It's all about technique. It's all about being thorough. It's all about being as careful as you can be. If it's a piece of furniture that you're going to turn around and just paint over with regular paint, you know what? Do whatever you really want to do. But what I'm referring to more than anything is what to do when you are removing finish and preparing the surface for your new stain and new finish, so that you can make it look as beautiful and as perfect as you can. So here is the piece that I'm working on. It's going to be a little bit difficult to see, but I'm going to work on it. So I can find my scraper. Okay. One of the pieces that you want to have besides your stripping agents, sandpaper, and everything else that you need, I always like to use a card scraper. This is just basically a piece of metal that is fairly thin. It is made out of usually like spring steel, something that has a high carbon content in it, so that it's rigid and so that it retains an edge. There are quite a few videos that I would tell you to use when preparing a card scraper. I will leave a link for that or below this video. But anyway, here's some of the things we need to do. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking the corner of your scraper and I'm finding the corners of the area that I'm working on. And I'm not very heavily, fairly lightly removing as much of the finish as possible. I'm trying not to gouge into the wood itself. That's the biggest issue, is that if you start gouging into the wood, then you actually have to fix that as well. So if you look at what I have, you'll see that this is just finish that's coming off. Okay, I'm not pushing any harder than that. All I'm doing is I'm just trying to remove the finish. Work on just a small section at a time. And as you can see, like I said, a little bit of the stain is coming off, but I'm not removing any of the wood. And then you can take your card scraper, and there's various techniques to using that. I'll go over those techniques at some point, or I'll provide you with a location to find it. Really what I'm doing here is I'm just removing as much of the finish as possible. There are situations, like the situation that I'm working on right now, where you don't want to use a stripper, but you don't want to use sandpaper if you don't have to, except for the finer aspects of it. Okay, so I have a little bit of a section that's done here. Now I can tell you that we're getting really close to being through the finish and into the wood. And as you can see, this just takes time. You know, if you want your furniture to look good, if you want your piece that you're fixing and refinishing, if you want it to look good, it's going to take time. You can't just go, let's use the old word, willy-nilly. You can't just go willy-nilly over everything, because you end up gouging stuff, sanding too far. Okay. And then after I've scraped as much as possible, then in this particular situation I am going to sand, but it's only to get rid of this little bit of residual. And you don't want to be pressing down with your sandpaper. I'm going to go through another video. This is basically just introducing you to what I do and what we're going to do from here. My whole purpose is to get you to a place to where you can be confident in what you do without destroying the piece, really. So we'll get this little section and that'll be it. And as you can see, except for a little bit of a part right here, which at this point I'm only lightly scraping across the surface just to make sure that I've got all the finish off. Okay, so that little section is now done. So thank you for taking the time to find a little bit about what I do. Hopefully these videos are going to help you with your woodwork. The videos that I'm going to create are going to be using kind of basic tools, basic saws and drills and stuff that, you know, you can just go to Harbor Freight and pick them up for a very inexpensive amount, and you'll be able to do fairly quality work with just these simple amount of tools, so that you're not spending a whole lot of money. Anyway, I appreciate you taking the time. This has been Larry at For God So Loved Woodworks, and we'll see you next time. Make sure you like and subscribe this video. It's going to help me out to build my channel. Have a blessed day.